Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So, getting right into this, a couple of days ago, I put up a video, actually, a couple of videos on what I'm doing for my affliction disorder. I have a neurological issue. I have something that's called, it's a mouthful, idiopathic epidermal small fiber neuropathy. There's some other things that are complicated too because it's affecting motor function, fine motor function. The symptoms are bizarre. They're totally weird, and really no two people have the same sort of thing. So I'm not going to talk about the specifics of my situation, my condition, my illness right here. But what I want to talk about is, well, first of all, I'm in the treatment stage now. For 3 or 4 years, diagnosis, they couldn't find out what the hell was wrong with me. I had muscle biopsies, EMG, nerve conduction studies, all just numerous things. Very, very excruciating, horrible diagnostic thing, and they couldn't really figure it out. They were ruling out the real horrible stuff like ALS and MS and all that. So, but anyway, so this is what I'm dealing with now is idiopathic epidermal small fiber neuropathy, and there's still some question marks. We still don't know 100%. So, but I'm like, okay, I have this. I'm going to run with it, and I'm at the treatment stage since January. I've had to date 4 stem cell treatments, IV, okay? And I'm also on a keto diet, like a ketogenic sort of diet. It's a little more complicated. I'm working with a naturopath right now, and I've had extensive blood work, and I'm even going to really get real specific with that. I work out like a maniac. I kid you not when I say work probably combined about 4 hours a day, like harder than I just work until my body almost drops. Maybe overtraining, but you gotta. Okay, and the last part is mental. This visualization, the mind body connection. So I posted this, and someone who's got a very serious genetic disorder was offended by it. All right, she has something called NFS. I know she sent me a text. She goes, like, you're beating a dead horse. Like, you keep going on. You've explained yourself. And I know, but I do feel bad. Like, I don't want to dispense, medical stuff. I mean, I'm not a MD. I'm not, false hope, if you will. But the thing is, when you have something really fucked up and doctors don't know, mainstream medicine, they don't have answers, you gotta think out of the box. It's almost like you're fighting for your life. That kicks in, right? And I know there are some things like, holy fuck, when you talk about a genetic disorder, someone born with Down syndrome, I mean, that's preposterous to say, like, oh, if you go for stem cells or visualization, that's fucking offensive. I totally get that, and there are these genetic disorders. But you know what? Who knows? Sometime in the future with this CRISPR technology and all that, and I've done a couple of videos on CRISPR. But anyway, let me talk about this. All right. So, has anyone ever seen the movie Lorenzo's Oil? Let me bring this up. I saw this a long time ago. It's actually from 1992. So what is that? 2002, 27 years, right? With Nick Nolte. Now, this is based on a true story. It's directed by Gregory Miller, and it's about this boy who has this really very rare, horrible neurological disorder. It's something called ALD, okay? So let me try to pronounce this. Adrenoleukodystrophy. I'm going to put a link up here too. Adrenoleukodystrophy, ALD. So here's the thing. And this is what I went through too. All the doctors said, you're fucked. You know, it's like I'm looking down at this. Again, neurology's shit. Neurology sucks. There's no cure for any of these diseases. So you have to. You're fighting for your life, right? And what was happening is basically the nerves, similar to ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. The nerves, to put it in lay person's language, nerves are dying. This man's son's nerves were dying. Your nerves die, you die in the worst possible way imaginable. Everything is central nervous system. Your brain and your spinal cord, CNS, spinal cord, peripheral nerves. It's everything. How you move, you swallow, hearings, eyesight, everything. Your nerves die, you die slowly and agonizingly, right? So I'm just scrolling down here. So rare disease, goes to all these doctors. All the doctors, scientists, and even support groups say your son's going to die. And it's going to be beyond words horrible. He's going to lose his eyesight. He's going to go blind and hearing. And by the way, he did go blind. But listen, this is a good story. So the father, played by Nick Nolte, says, I can't accept this. I can't accept this. And watch the movie. He finally, this is a guy, not a doctor, right? He says, fuck you to doctors. Fuck you. Fuck you, scientists. Fuck you, support group. I'm saving my son's life. And that's all he does. He devotes his whole life just to these medical textbooks. This is a lay person. He comes up with this, I'm reading this now here. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Despite research dead ends, the horror of watching his son's health decline and being surrounded by skeptics, he comes up with this sort of oil, actually containing two specific long-chain fatty acids isolated from rapeseed oil and olive oil, hence the name of the title. Long story short, he saves his son's life. In fact, his sight was restored. Now, to this day, I just did some research here, and now, he's a middle-aged man, and he's still alive, and, he's not, an able-bodied person, but he's leading a somewhat normal life. And you see in the film, he couldn't even swallow, right? Like, that's how fucking horrible this was. So it says here, Lorenzo regained his sight. He was able to move his head from side to side, vocalize some simple sounds, and learn how to use a computer. And that's the way he is today. So I guess the point is, I feel bad. Like this person said to me, don't be dispensing medical like cures or this and that. That's false hope. And I really felt really shitty. And I said, listen, I'm speaking from the heart. I'm just telling you what's happening with me. Because I got that diagnosis, which was dire, which is like you're going to get progressively, you have a neurodegenerative disease. This was me. You have a neurodegenerative disease. There's no cure at all. And all we could do is deal with symptoms and your pain. Like, you want some gabapentin? I'm telling you, that was the situation. And I'm fighting for my life. And I have seen improvements. I'm still, you look at me and I look like I'm a big fucking strapping guy and I'm, all this and that, but I got some shit going on. Like, if you know me, my wife, you see how I walk, it sucks. It fucking sucks, man. But I'm telling you, false hope or not, even if I was wasting my money. I've had people say, don't waste your money on stem cells. Actually, one of my last neurologists, fucking asshole in Colombia, goes, don't waste your money. He had an accent. Don't waste. He talked like this. He sounded like a fucking Nazi. Don't waste your money. Fuck you, you piece of shit. It's like, you don't care, So even if it is false hope, it's hope nonetheless. So what? Do you want to have someone say, dude, there's no fucking cure? I don't know. I don't want that. What you have to deal with, I am disappointed a lot. Like, sometimes I wish I could be normal and do all the things I used to do, and then it gets very frustrating. So if you have something like, let's just say it is false hope, you have to deal with disappointment. like major disappointment, and it's depressing, So let me leave it with this. Oh, remember Michael Landon from Little House on the Prairie, that great show? And Michael Landon died of was it he had something, I think it was liver cancer. I'm not sure, I didn't look it up, but I remember when he was diagnosed, it was very quick too, by the way, and he went on, I believe it was Johnny Carson, and he said, Johnny, I'm going to beat this thing. All my doctors say you're going to die, you're going to be dead in 2 months, and he goes, nope, I'm beating this fucking thing. I don't care what anyone says. Suffice to say, he did succumb. He did die in a couple of months. But the question is, I don't know. I mean, do you want, like, would it have been better if Michael Landon accepted his fate, or if he had that hope? It's a tough one, and I don't have the answer to it. I would like to have some sort of hope, right? I mean, I guess if you want to get your house in order, if you're dying and you have your insurance and all that, but you should do that anyway, even when you're healthy. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.